Fuck, did that work? Shit, is it working? Everybody, hey, it's working. Is that working?
Hello?
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 Are we here? Are we
Hello?
doing this? Can you hear both of us?
Internet?
Dear God. Internet, are you there? Internet, hello. Wait, I'm desperately staring at the Twitch chat going, please work, please work, please work, please work, please work. Oh, it all went a bit wrong on the Twitch chat. Twitch chat. Everyone say, people, can you hear us? Just let us know if you can hear us. They're saying yes! John, we did it!
They're saying yes!
Yay! Christ, right. Hello, sorry about the incredible delay. Welcome to Nerd³ Podcats. Special guest Matt. Say hello, Matt. You're damn right you don't say hello when you don't turn up. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, Matt.
Which of us can do the best impression of Matt?
Yeah, do an impression of Matt for this whole thing, John. That's the thing.
Oh, fuck, twat. Cunt. That's it.
It's like he's in the room. It's like he's in the room. Yeah, I apologise. I had to install XSplit and set all that shit up. And I turned up normally with about 2 minutes to go because I'm supposed to just swan into these. So I apologise by the fact it's 20 minutes late. But let's get started. Today's video is sponsored by Fuck All. So, this is Nerd³ Podcats. What it's going to be is it's always going to be me and John and a mystery special guest. Ooh. You didn't sound excited. You sounded like you were a ghost.
Sorry, but in all fairness, to add to the... Well, it is a bit mysterious now because Matt's probably dead.
Yes. If he is dead, this is going to be even more hilarious when you rewatch this on Sunday when we upload it to the channel.
This adds to the mystery of it. The mystery guest, if you don't even give them directions to the studio, extra mystery.
It's true. That's true. Although, technically, we normally do this in Matt's studio, but he'd had the door locked. So we run over to my little tiny studio on the side. Anyway, we do have a special guest for you today, who's coming in at the very last second. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John's cat.
Unfortunately, my cat is very quiet. She's
Oh.
currently cowering in the side of the room. She doesn't actually like noise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Should we get on with it then?
Yes, we should probably get on with it.
So, this is going to be a nice, talky podcast about games and possibly other nerd paraphernalia, because I normally tweet about this shit, and instead I decided, hey, why don't I just do it on Twitch Live so we can, every 2 weeks, talk about what's happening in the world of video games. So, John, what's happening in the world of video games?
Well, luckily I was speaking to Matt recently, so I can vaguely estimate what he'd probably want to talk about if he were here, which he's not.
Swear words.
Indeed. But other than swear words, he was really, really into all the VR stuff at EGX. Because we hung out at EGX together, and he was super into all of the VR stuff there.
Yes, he does like his VR pornography. That is definitely a thing that I've seen Matt talk about.
Which is fine, because there's also been like a couple of new VR-y type thingies that they've like said over the last kind of couple of days. Both of which, well, one of which could be really, really good, or it's just a terrible idea, and one of which sounds like a really fundamentally good idea, but could actually be really boring because it's too good an idea. So they've said Tekken 7 is going to utilise VR, and we briefly talked about this.
We did.
In the past as well. Which is, you were kind of saying that you kind of thought it would be interesting if it was in the crowd, but I kind of would love, I'd love to see them at least try to do first-person 2D fighting games.
Yeah, but the problem with that is you'd go mad. If you shot Tekken from first person, you only look at them every, 0.2 of a second where you're not doing a spinny kick or jumping up above them. So it would be very weird. Especially if it kept, eyes on. It sort of default eyes on. Because if you're constantly spinning around but your head isn't moving, but your head is moving and around as well, I think it would just break. I think your brain would explode and you would die. That's what I think would happen. You've gone quiet. Has your brain exploded and you died? Has my internet shat itself? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where everything's going wrong. Oh god. Many a true nerd has now dropped out because his connection lost. You know, one of those days where everything goes wrong? Did it have to be the first fucking show? Is it still going on mine? I haven't actually dropped a frame. I'm still going. Normally when this all breaks, everything goes wrong. Awesome. Awesome. 4,000 people. I bet his fucking cat has chewed through one of the cables. Anyway, right, now I have to do an impression of John and Matt and now John's cat, and we're all going to have a conversation. Right, so, Matt, what do you think about VR? Cunt, bollocks, fuck, arse. Right, brilliant. That was a bit less Matt and a little bit more sort of Father Ted. Hi, Twitch chat. How the fuck are you? You know when you're like, hey, it's gonna be me and my friends, and then like one friend jumps out like, oh, we're still gonna have a great time, and then after a while, it's just you on a roller coaster all alone. That's my life right now. That's my life right now. I'm gonna go to a quick commercial break. No, I'm not, because fucking John's back.
I'm back!
Fucking hell, John.
I blame TeamSpeak.
I blame your cat.
I'm still here more than Matt is.
Alright, fine. 10 points to Gryffindor. Good and bloody Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have...
I'm not Gryffindor. I'm never Gryffindor.
I always liked Slytherin. I thought I would be a Slytherin. That was my jam.
Yeah, I always used to think Ravenclaw, but I've kind of come round to Slytherin as I've realised that evil is the one true path.
It is the one true path. Oh. What the fuck? Why did my logo just shrink? John, everything's going wrong. I want to cry.
I don't think Matt is actually secretly in the background just slowly messing this up. He just disconnects me from TeamSpeak. He's just sort of shrinking. He's just going to slowly shrink the logo to mess with you over the course of the thing. This is Matt's revenge.
This is the hashtag Matt fucked uppiest live stream in the world. Because it is all spawning off of his massive disaster or life choice of being dead. What the fuck were we talking about before your cat chewed through a cable somewhere?
I got to Tekken 7, and you were saying something about how you liked the idea of Tekken 7, but they've already heard that, so I'll assume I heard what you said.
Yeah, not enthusiastically. Oh yes. Oh, absolutely.
Not enthusiastic. And the other one is the sequel, prequel, spin-off, whatever it is, for Until Dawn, the Rush of Blood thing. Which basically looks like they've basically just doing an on-rail shooter with the gimmick it's in a haunted house but saying there's choices. Which strikes me as several good ideas there. Because horror is the one genre that actually ought to have VR. That's a really good idea.
Because that makes horror scarier, therefore worse.
Yes, but I think sadly that's the point of horror. I mean, I know neither you or I are desperately big horror fans, but that is kind of the point in some ways.
It's the largest anyone's ever described me as a horror fan.
But
yeah, I suppose VR... I think actually what VR is it's... What horror is for VR is it's easier.
Yeah.
It makes horror easy. Just go... And then something goes boogly woogly woogly in your face. And normally when something goes boogly woogly woogly, you have to be looking in the right direction and stuff. But in this, it could be like, come from over there and boogly woogly woogly. Fire boogly woogly wooglies from everywhere. You can actually attach it to where they're looking and be like, ugh, and scare the shit
But presumably you wouldn't. Presumably if you want to, you'd really you'd have things spawn right in the periphery of the vision. So you'd actually have things appearing in the periphery to make people panic. That'd be quite good.
God, you'd be a terrifying game developer. You would.
That's fine. I probably don't have the patience or technical skills for that sort of thing. So luckily that will never happen. But they've got around the problem of once you start moving around, the immersion gets broken a bit by having you therefore seated in a cart going through a haunted house, but still having the spooky stuff popping out at you.
Yeah, I could just look at the floor.
That strikes me as the best of both worlds.
Yeah, well, because with VR, I always believe that you shouldn't be able to move. You shouldn't be able to move the human character you're playing as unless because if you're sitting in a chair, you've got a VR headset on. The only games that really should work for that is a game where you're sitting in a chair. That makes sense to me. So if you've got something
I have one of the terrifying holding two people you love over a volcano choices for you right now. What would happen if the Roller Coaster Tycoon World devs announced that they would ship every copy of it with a free headset that would give you basically VR roller coaster riding?
I would still probably hate that game.
That's acceptable.
If they had gone, we'll give you free roller coaster riding in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, then I might care about it. But unfortunately that game world is so ugly I never want to visit it. I'd feel sad.
That's true. You wouldn't really want... It'd be like a terrifying dystopia. It's like a horrifying nightmare if you woke up one morning, went outside, and that's what the world looked like.
Oh my god, if the world looked like Unity assets.
Just horribly flat, stretching off into the distance in every direction.
Store-bought Unity assets. Right, everyone's now saying they have no sound.
What, literally no sound? They can't hear anything.
Idea. I have no idea. So I don't care. At this point, fuck the fact that this is a live stream. We're recording it for Sunday.
I'll nip onto the stream and see what's happening.
Yeah, I can't do that, otherwise we'll get feedback and things.
I can, because it'll just be into my headphones, so it'll be fine.
Yes.
Let's see what's going on here.
They're messing with me. Oh, you tricksy bastards. Oh, you tricksy bastards.
Yes, a lot of people are yelling, I have sound.
Good. What, you can hear in your... I thought you just turned the audio on and you just realised we were going, I have sound! That would be slightly weird. We're just broadcasting someone else's stuff right now. Oh, you clever bastards. Right. Twitch chat, I will minimise the fuck out of you in a minute. So, are we even now, Twitch chat? Are we even for the whole Ashens thing? Yeah, maybe come over there. Someone says update my schedule on Twitch. I have a schedule on Twitch?
Doesn't it say at the top you're playing GTA 5 all day or something?
Yeah, but Matt only fixes that. It's like, here, I'll fix it. No, fuck it, I can't be asked. I'll fix that in a break when I know... Because right now, everything's working. I'm like, alright, don't touch it. Like, it's working. We'll leave. This is how I program as well. I'm like, that's working. I don't know how... That shouldn't be working, but that's working. So I don't want to touch it. I'm just going to back away slowly, save it, and then copy and paste it and use it everywhere. Which I believe is how Red Dead Redemption was developed.
That is possibly, that's a really, really skilled, powerful ability to have as a developer. Because I can imagine the much more common programming issue is that should be working, but it isn't. If you've got the power of that shouldn't work, but it does anyway, you are basically just a development magician.
Yes. I found that this is actually a skill that all developers must possess. Because you're like, how do I solve this thing? And then you do something like, how's that doing that? That shouldn't be it. And you make it for that one specific case, so you can never use that code again because you put anything else in it, it doesn't work. I'm having fun with Human Resource Manager. No, Human Resource Machine. The new game from Tomorrow World, creators of Little Inferno and World of Goo, because it is very much a game about programming. Have you played it yet? Or heard anything about it?
No, the only game I played recently that was anything to do with programming was else heart.break open brackets close brackets. I'm told that I'm pronouncing that wrong because open brackets close brackets programming is pronounced somehow differently. But
GIF.
Yes. What?
GIF.
Alright, else.heart.break GIF, which is basically a game where all of the people who can speak programming languages are magicians. It's just a little indie game. It's just a little indie game I looked at like a while ago. But it's rather than being about programming, you are literally, if you're a programmer, you are a wizard. It's like how in Harry Potter universe, if you could speak Latin, you would be the most powerful wizard of all time. In this universe, you've just got a little device that can plug into literally any physical object, and it just turns into programming code. And if you know how to program, you can make it do whatever you want. So basically, anyone who speaks programming languages is a wizard. And people were telling me, like, if people who were programmers were playing this, and they said, I just started this game, and within an hour of starting it, I was king of the world because I just went into the bad guys' HQ and I locked everyone in their offices because I figured out how to do that immediately.
I want to play that now. I was going to type it in, but then I was going to like have my really clicky keyboard and people would complain. I push one key and people think there's an earthquake somewhere nearby. Every time on this damn keyboard. What was the Double Fine game that had programming in recently? I can't remember its name, but they did a game that was like, "Hey, it's programming."
Broken Age didn't have programming in it, did it?
No. Oh, Hack and Slash.
Oh yes,
you
yes.
had your USB stick so you could program things. No, I didn't finish playing that when it released. I did enjoy that, and I never finished it. It got really fucking hard by the end. Like some of the stuff, they got so many variables. You're like, I don't know. The Twitch chat is currently screaming, "There's no logo," but I am actually streaming it on the side there, and I can see there's a logo. So. You worked well with the audio one because I can't hear the audio, but I can see the logo. Good try. You know, oh bloody hell! This morning on Twitter, I did the everyone's favorite YouTube comment of, "Oh, I can't believe they've added a noise when you click the what's it? The reply button or the upvote, the
retweet button."
I did that. Yeah.
Yes. Well trolled.
I did that because everybody's freaking out about the heart. I'm like, why do they add that thing with the retweet button? And everyone started retweeting, going, "I can't hear anything." I'm like, Like, just opening up the book to page 1, and there it is. That trick's listed right there. I'm like, oh, lovely jubbly. Right, what the fuck are we talking about? We span off. This is going to be a bit more conversational. It's like, here's what happened in the news, and then, no, is the plan. A bit talky. A bit more pub chat than podcast. Because I think we've lost the art. Everything is sort of a bit too strict. It's like, we'll talk about this now, and here's this section. I'm like, we'll flow. Hey, let's ask our special guest some questions. So, Matt, what do you think of programming-based video games? Cunt flap hearts, arse, flap cunt arse. Thank you. So,
I know Matt is Irish, but he doesn't actually sound that Irish.
The problem is, when I start speaking, whenever I say the word arse, I have to pronounce it like Father Jack from Father Ted.
Ah, I see.
Arse, drink, girls! Every time. So that is how I imagine Matt to look in my head, even though he does look like an 8-year-old goth girl. So, yeah. And then now going, there's no audio again. Seriously? Fool me once. Well done. Fool me twice. You didn't. Is that how that phrase goes? I don't know.
Something like that. There's a wolf attacking. There's wolf attacks in there somewhere.
Oh, and wolf attack. So fool me once, be attacked by a wolf. Fool me twice, I'll attack you with more wolves.
Yes, I'll come back with my 3 wolf mates, and we'll have your wolf done.
I'll have your wolf mate. I'll have him. Right, news that. Oh, on the VR thing, there was a game that was announced that I really like the look of, but I can't remember the name of. But I want to go back to it because it was VR. It was a superhero game. Did you see this?
Ooh, no, I didn't.
It's VR and also a non-VR game, which is why I got excited about it, for the PlayStation 4. Oh, Megaton Rainfall. That's what it was called. It's a game where you play as a superhero and you can fly around, and aliens have invaded, and aliens are effing up your shit. And you have to... You are indestructible and can't be killed, but the aliens can destroy stuff, so you have to try and save the world, and apparently you can fly around, like, the whole world, which sounds brilliant.
Wait a minute, that was the setup for the Superman video game.
Yes, I was about to say, that is just the Superman PS2 game remade, but that Superman PS2 game is also brilliant in some ways.
In some ways.
In some ways. Have to add that caveat.
You see, I'd almost prefer that concept if there weren't the aliens involved, because the aliens are the great equalizers. It's like, you've just gained superpowers and you can fly around the city, but at the exact same time you've gained those abilities, people who presumably have their own super ridiculously superhuman abilities have also shown up, meaning you're kind of back to where you started.
Yeah.
You might as well just be having a slappy fight on the street between 2 people who don't have superpowers.
I would watch that. That is actually what I want for the next sandbox superhero game. Just 2 people on the street going, stop it. Yeah, technically, that's what I never got. The only reason that no human has ever become a superhero, because they go, we don't have superpowers. But what you just said there, I don't actually think people would just randomly punch each other. Like, 2 superheroes wouldn't just let's kill each other. Like, they wouldn't fight. So humans shouldn't fight. So therefore, if one human pretends they have superpowers, no one would fight the superhero. You see? If anybody out there wants to become a superhero, just pretend. Now everybody's saying the stream's down. But again, I'll say this again, I am streaming it, I look over there and I see it. They're so bad. You did so well with that first one, and now you've just fucked it up and fucked it up more. You're kind of like Ubisoft. That's what the stream... They were like, hey, here's a brilliant idea. Oh, let's do it again. Let's do it again, but not change a thing. You've been playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate. What have you been thinking about that?
Assassin's Creed Syndicate is actually pretty good.
Ooh.
It's genuinely quite good.
Ooh.
Because you know what there is in Assassin's Creed Syndicate? You know what? There's a lot of them. You know what there isn't a lot of in Assassin's Creed Syndicate?
Both.
Assassinations.
Ooh, they brought them back.
There's quite... Yeah, they came back. After being absent in the series a bit. They're back, because they're flipping all over the city. There's just little assassination missions, where it's not like, here's a big cutscene, and here's an area where clearly the way to do it is go here, then cross this rope, and then go over there, and then kidnap that guy, and then drop down and kill him while he's at the altar. They're all a bit kind of, fixed, and kind of clearly signposted what you had to do in Unity. There's just this big area, and a bloke in the middle. Find which bloke it is, then kill him however you want. It's actually quite good. In fact, I've been basically ignoring the main plot just to go around the city having fun with it.
You've actually sold me on this game. Because that's what the advertising campaign should have been. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, now with assassinations. I would have gone,
yeah, but I think the marketing campaign to my mind should have been, hey, you know how you kind of like Dishonored, but it wasn't quite as good as you wanted it to be? And you know how you like Arkham City, but it had quite a few problems in it? And you know how you like Assassin's Creed, but there's been quite a few bad ones? We've taken the best bits of all 3 of those games and just created one game out of them. Welcome to Dishonored Batman's Creed.
Dishonored Batman's Creed.
Dishonored Batman's Creed. That's what Assassin's Creed Syndicate is.
Batman's Dishonored Creed is what you should call it, because that sounds like Batman's doing some fucked up shit somewhere.
The thing is, these games, this is ready for a crossover. Batman could be an assassin in the present day. Because the assassins are all about this, stay your blade from the blood of an innocent. Well, Batman just takes that to its logical extreme, which is he doesn't assassinate anyone at all.
Oh my god. That's the future!
Yeah, he's the assassin that doesn't kill. Because he's got like all the fancy tools. Because like in Syndicate, like the modern day assassins have stuff that look like it belongs in a Batman game. Like Sean, the guy in the assassin, he's got a little kind of like a little electric buzz hand blade thingy. So basically just an electric shock thing that clearly wouldn't kill. It's just designed to knock people unconscious. So basically the assassins have gone down a path of completely non-killing. They're totally becoming Batman.
Oh my god.
We need a Batman Assassin's Creed crossover. It's meant to happen.
So much better than Desmond. So much better than Desmond. But you a Desmond fan?
I'm not sure anyone could be a Desmond fan, really. It's like being a fan of a beige wall. I mean, like, it's nice that it's there and it probably supports the plot or the narrative in some vaguely convenient way, but you're never going to stop and think, oh yeah, that's a sexy beige wall.
Man, that beige wall has a lot of character to it. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, there is a... Yeah, that's sort of... I know, because I haven't ever actively, like, hated spending time with a wall. I think that's where that metaphor falls down. Because, like... what is the future plot in these current games? Because Black Flag was... you're a Ubisoft employee. And
yeah.
Desmond's brain has been cut out, and we're definitely using that.
Did you not play Unity at all?
No.
Okay, as of Unity, you're one person, which is basically you're sitting at home with your Helix that was a games console Animus. So they basically just released the Animus as a games console, with the launch title being the game you were making in Black Flag.
Uh-huh.
So they've released that as a console. You're a gamer sitting at home playing on your Animus games console, which the assassins hack, and now you work for them.
Right.
Which you did in Unity, and presumably you survived because I think the implication is you're the same person in Syndicate. You're basically just a gamer sitting at home, but you kind of lock yourself away in your room, but in pretending you're playing video games, but you're actually doing super secret spy work to save the world. It's kind of like Bruno the Kid, but Assassin's Creed.
Bruno the Creed. Assassin's Kid. Assassin's Kid?
Bruno the Creed. There's hopefully at least 10 people in the chat who remember Bruno the Kid.
I'm sorry, but now you've got me on Assassin's Kid, like a baby spin-off. Like a Muppet Baby spin-off of Assassin's Creed. Assassin's babies, they'll stab you in the face. I would watch that. Or play
that was basically the intro to Assassin's Creed 2. You were born in the intro to Assassin's Creed 2. And you pressed all the buttons to use your arms and your legs, and genuinely there was the use your assassinate button. You kind of reached towards your father's neck as a baby.
Ah, little murdering bastard. What I always thought would be the big plot twist. Because the reason I stuck with the Desmond storyline is because I thought the big plot twist would be Desmond, he's doing his usual Desmond stuff, and then he fancies that lady, whatever her face is, and then he goes and...
Lucy.
What?
Lucy,
yeah, they probably had...
She didn't even make it to the end of the Desmond storyline, though.
No, I know, that's why I lost the interest in it, because I thought he'd go and make the sexy time with Lucy, and then we were like, yeah, sexy scene, and then it would end, and you'd wake up in the far future as a guy who was playing as Desmond, playing as Altair.
Ooh.
And then it's sort of like, so the thing's constant, like Desmond was sort of like the guy who was supposed to save it, and you're in the future where Desmond completely fucked up and didn't save it, and now you're having to clean up his mess. And you're trying to work out what he fucked up to then try and fix it yourself. So Desmond's whole story is a sacrifice story, like they made it, but with a cool, we get to go and fight robots twist.
You see, that's absolutely fine, because I think by that stage the plot had got sufficiently convoluted that it didn't make sense anymore, because someone berated me when I was talking about Assassin's Creed once, because I didn't follow the Lucy plot entirely, and I wasn't quite sure why Lucy had betrayed the assassins, and I was berated because apparently the detail of that was in one of the novels. So I was berated for having not read one of the Assassin's Creed novels where it was fleshed out.
Wow. Okay. Alright, expanded universe people. They're like the people who complain when you say that Darth Maul died. No, he didn't. He was resurrected and something, and Fort Palpatine has a brother who's yellow, who looks a bit like a ladybird. That's a true story. I can't remember his name now.
Bane, I think? Darth Bane? He was in like the mini-series thing they made.
Darth Steve! That was it.
Darth Steve,
Darth
yes.
Steve. I would totally watch a movie based around a villain called Darth Steve. Book it, someone. Although, no! That brings us nicely, sort of, in a roundabout sort of segue kind of way.
Does it?
To Activision buying King for $5.9 billion. Because Star Wars was sold for $4 billion. So, do we think the people who make Candy Crush are worth an extra half of what Star Wars is worth. And all of the Lucas things. Everything LucasArts has ever done. I'd like to say no.
Theoretically, I can see how, like, a bunch of people sitting around a table looking at a spreadsheet could probably justify to themselves why they did it.
Yeah.
Purely in terms of how much money King makes at the moment and how much they project they might make in future. But it doesn't change the fact I think it's a really weird decision because I don't want to be mean to King, but anything they do could be replicated without too much difficulty, I feel.
I would go one step meaner and say they've never had an original idea in their lives. Their most popular game is Bejeweled with a different skin.
I just don't know why you'd ever buy them as opposed to just stealing all their ideas. I mean, I
don't get. Yeah, it's exactly that.
What I mean, they could say, "Hey, you just stole our ideas," but I'd love to. Yeah, they surely don't have the audacity to take that to court.
Yeah,
they'd get a stern looking at by a judge if King flipping stood up and said they stole our ideas.
Well, remember
that would lead to a whole chain of people suing them.
Remember that King did start suing people for using the word saga in their games.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I wasn't sure whether that was ever going to make it to court or anything. I never saw the follow-up on that.
I don't remember. It's court of thing. It's probably still going on, knowing them. So Activision can now be doing that. Maybe they just want the word king. No one else could be king. Assassin's Creed King's never going to happen. But yeah, that's a lot of money. I mean, remember Minecraft was bought for $2 million. Mojang and Minecraft was bought for $2 million. And Minecraft, I would say, is bigger and has more of a cultural impact. Like, when you spend $6 billion or $5.9 billion on something, you have thought about that. That's something you've absolutely... you think that's a winner. No one's done this thinking it's a loser, but
that's not an impulse purchase.
Yeah,
that's not you're in the off license and you see something that costs that much money, you just think, yeah, why not?
Yeah. Which is why... That's what I was thinking. Until... If you read the press release that was talking about how they were buying this, how Activision were buying King, it seems they did use spare change in some way. A lot of the money is coming from offshore bank accounts that they can't bring back into the US for huge tax purposes or something, is what I've been hearing. So possibly they did spend so much on it because they were literally just trying to get rid of some money. That is a very interesting twist, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this story.
That feels like the origin story of a Bond villain.
$5.9 billion for Candy Crush. Well, it couldn't be anything eviler than Candy Crush and its wonderful microtransactions. That's why.
Oh darn! I just had to double check the calculations here. Sadly, that is not enough money to fill Scrooge McDuck's money bin.
Oh.
I just had to check that. Then, sadly, that would take $7.1 trillion.
Oh,
Does
that
that's a
include
shame.
Inflation as well. Because, like, seriously, that's I've got 7.1. 19 whenever $trillion. Where the fuck was Scrooge McDuck a thing? Well, he's still a thing now, but when did they start? When did all the Looney Tunes start?
Looney Tunes started a bloody long time ago. So I think Scrooge McDuck's a really late entry, because isn't he he was introduced as a family member for Daffy Duck?
I was about to say family member for Mickey. I was like, I don't remember that, but that's a different thing entirely. Yeah, wait, yes. Which I always get confused because he reminds me a lot more of Donald Duck, but
Donald Duck. Yeah, sorry. I'm getting my universes crossed over. Sorry, Marvel. You know how it is, Marvel, DC.
So is he not Looney Tunes then, Scrooge McDuck? Because Daffy Duck is Looney Tunes, and Donald Duck is
Scrooge
Disney.
McDuck. No, he's Disney. Yeah.
No, he must be Disney, not Looney Tunes.
Yeah, he's Disney. Yeah, he's Disney.
So Jesus, he could have been around for a million years. Oh no!
There's this whole dark backstory about how basically Donald Duck went off to sea to be a sailor and basically abandoned his children, so they moved in with Scrooge McDuck. I swear that's the backstory. That's the backstory of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. They were abandoned by their father.
Who's their mother?
Because Donald Duck's a bastard.
Yeah, he is, and he's here tonight
as our mystery special guest.
Literally
anyone either of us can do impressions of is now the special guest.
Oh, hey Twitch, who do you want to see as special guest? Twitch is saying David Cameron is dead. Good. Right, let's carry on.
David Cameron's dead.
Probably not. They're not great at this whole trolling thing at this point. It's like the boy who cried wolf. Maybe he has been. Maybe he's been eaten by a wolf. Maybe he tried to gang up on some other wolves and it all went spectacularly wrong.
He picked a fight during Prime Minister's questions. He didn't realise that Jeremy Corbyn had like 5 wolves with him already.
Jeremy Corbyn just comes in just wearing one of those giant wolves. Not wearing, fuck, he wouldn't be. But like riding one of those giant wolves from fucking Game of Thrones or whatever fucking sci-fi fantasy show has them. He's just there, he's like, answer the question. And of course Cameron can't because he's a politician, robot, lizard man, and that's built in that he can't answer it. And so he just got eaten by a wolf in Parliament about 20 minutes ago, and now we're taking the piss.
That would probably improve Jeremy Corbyn's kind of reputation for being a little bit dry and boring if he were to just ride around on a giant wolf.
I like dry and boring. I've always been a fan of... Because dry and boring to me, with Corbyn being all dry and boring, works a lot better than David Cameron, hey, I'm your best friend. Because I can't stand politicians that are like, oh yes, I listen to the Kaiser Chiefs. You're like, shut up. Just shut up and politise. Politicize over there. Go over there and do your politics. And be boring.
The best thing was when he forgot what football team he supported.
That is true.
Because he's supposed to support Aston Villa, but he didn't remember that during one of the interviews.
West Ham, didn't he?
He just said West Ham.
That is our leader of the... Not the free world, the surveillance-ridden 1984 Great Britain. Oh.
I just like to think he's got like a little kind of cue card he has to carry around in his pocket all time, because it's called like human things I like, where it's just kind of like, if anyone asks what your favourite food is, it's a nice cheese sandwich with Branston pickle, not caviar.
Yeah, actually no, because he is a lizard man in a human suit. Maybe he just lost them as he was climbing into his human skin that day. And he forgot to bring them along, so he's like, yes, I support the local football team. And now we can bring this back into sort of a nerdy topic, because they announced today, because they're doing that big surveillance bill, that they're going to keep everybody's online history for 12 months. So the police can access it if they need be, because you're all terrorists, fuck you all.
They're going to need a few terabytes external hard drives to do that.
Yes, they are.
They're going to need quite a bit of storage.
Yes, they are going to need an incredibly large amount of storage for all that, apparently. There's just so many screwed up things happening in Britain right now, 1984. It's coming. But then again, America's got Donald Trump, so left or right hand, really. It's sort of, yeah. It's the lesser of two evils, maybe. I don't know. Hey, should we talk about video games again? Because we've sidetracked.
We probably should, yes.
Batman Arkham Knight. It's still shit. Going back to what we said earlier, that came out and then is still shit again.
Which is just hilarious. Like, this is a company that has a QA department,
yep,
and has intelligent, rational people working for it, and has like a big team of people that play the games and check the games and report in the games and say, if we launch this now, what will be the good things that happen versus the bad things that happen? They'll probably have more complicated names than that and give themselves much more pretentious titles and say it in a more pretentious way. But they're there,
yep, and
yet somehow, despite having launched a game that was broken and pulling it back so they could fix it, they released it again just as broken.
Yes.
Like, there are many, many questions you would ask of a game that you'd released and had to pull back because it didn't work. But one of the first questions you would ask, the only question, if you only had time for one question before you re-release that product, would be, does it now work? Yes, no.
That's what it should have been. Just on
please, because it's not going out that door till you tell me yes.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, you just want a really big box they could just tick. All right, someone smudged coffee on it and they thought it was ticked. Oh, let's go. Oh, no, it's not done yet. But yeah, I mean, they've released 3 of these fucking games for PC already. Like, how have they cocked it? Because it's not a new engine. It's a lot of the same sort of assets and things. Maybe some of them have been tweaked and stuff. It probably runs on the same sort of mission structures and things. The only real new thing is Rain and the Batmobile. So I don't.
And the smoke that comes from the Batmobile's wheels when it does a little wheelie or accelerates,
which destroys frame rates. That is the.
Yeah.
They kind of went, look at all these fancy effects we've got, and just none of them works even when you turn them off. It's a real odd one, but I'm like, you've done all this. You've done this well 3 times before, and now you're just cocking this last one up. It's like they're tired. They should just go to bed. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, this is already, in all fairness, this is probably the sign of... This is maybe like a sign of what goes wrong when you release a trilogy that has 4 games in it.
Yes.
I mean, that's a sign that something's gone a bit strange at the back anyway.
Yeah.
Are we all pretending Origins didn't happen, by the way? Is that not part of the Arkham canon? Is it not allowed to exist?
I don't know. I played it a little. I didn't play a lot of it. I've only finished the first 2. I played the first one and finished it and loved it. Played the second one and went, that was okay. It was kind of the same thing. Played the third one and went, yeah, I remember this. I just needed a big enough gap to sort of semi-play it. And then the fourth one doesn't interest me. I think there's no other one, is there? Because that's like the runt of the litter, isn't it? Origins. It's like the
they've proper wrapped it up too. There's not really much space for it to go on now. Okay. They're gonna have to reboot it if they want more Batman games in that franchise now.
Yeah, but they could always do. Here's a different guy playing Batman. His name is Bruce Bane, and he's a sister of Bane, brother of Bane.
Oh, now you've made me think they could do a Batman of the future. They could do a Batman Beyond game, and I would pay. No, there's no limit on the money I would pay for a Batman Beyond game. Because Batman Beyond is the best thing.
That does. Yeah, I want that.
Terry McGinnis. Terry McGinnis was a great Batman.
I'm not a huge Batman fan. Batman's only really come into my... Like, it's sort of a thing of like... Because I don't think Batman's that cool. I like some things that he does, but I think that he's only as good... As every superhero, they're only as... No, sorry, not every superhero, but Batman is very much only as good as his villain. Which is why when he's against the Joker, it's very entertaining. And when he's against someone like Bane or a dude in a suit, it's like, well... It's why I don't really care for Superman. Although Superman is very... I really enjoy playing that Injustice game because I get to kick the shit out of Superman. I'm like, what do you think of this now? Because he's very... he's too perfect. He's like flawless as a character. He's Clara Oswald. That's what he is. Superman is Clara. We've said it here now, ladies and gentlemen. That's an official thing.
That's possible.
Have you been?
Yeah, Superman's never really found his new place. He struggles to find his new place in the world, given he was, created a very, very long time ago, when being a simple, perfect archetype was fine. That's all he needed to be. It's a bit more. Yeah, I think they. I mean, I've read. I don't read many comics, but I'm told that from a friend of mine who's a really big comic reader that they've tried to do various things about empowering him and depowering him to various levels and making him go on various, quests. Him walking across America on foot to get reconnected with himself or something. So,
right.
Really, really hope there's not a flood or a massive forest fire in South America because Superman's not bothering to fly around to disasters anymore. He's just walking around on foot because he needs to find himself like a gap year student.
I like the idea of Superman just on a gap year.
Just wandering across America saying, hello, you got any local problems? Litter, I'll help you with that, litter.
Old lady needs crossing the road. I'm there. Yeah, no, I would watch that.
Oh, for God's sakes, another earthquake in the Middle East. No, I'm not doing that this year.
He could do Spring Break, although he wouldn't be able to motorboat anyone because he'd rip their tits off. That's quite the visual, isn't it? Today, Superman buried his face into someone's chest and apparently tried to eat her heart. I wasn't doing that. I was just a bit weird.
Now that'd be a really good superhero game. Not that exactly, but you are just the world's strongest, most powerful person, but every time you go around trying to do good things, you basically just mess it up because you're so powerful, you cause way more collateral damage than you ever meant to. You try and save an old lady's purse, but by just flicking the guy who stole it, you just straight up murder him.
Yeah.
So everyone slowly turns against you, and you just accidentally become a supervillain because the situation constantly escalates, until in the end you just have to go to the moon and blow up the Earth.
I would play that. That's very Hancock, though. Did Hancock?
Yeah, but Hancock was a really good idea that I just felt didn't quite hang together properly.
Yeah, it's like many things. They're like, here's a really interesting premise, and then they 5 minutes into that premise fuck it up. That's such a common trope with movies. They go, here's a really interesting thing, and 5 minutes into the thing, they're like, oh, now we're going to change that up. I'm like, no, I just want a movie about a drunk superhero. Just doing shit and staying drunk. Maybe, at the end, he can try and start becoming a bit better, but still be a bit shit, and then the sequel, you can do all this stuff. I like that he didn't have an origin story, though, they didn't go, here's the origin story right at the very start. Because I'm sick of superhero origin stories. But I mean, not Superman, Spider-Man's being rebooted again. Which means...
But they've said it's not an origin story.
bet they fucking have it in the start, though.
They've basically
Guaranteed.
overtly said, you know what, we can figure it out. If the Spider-Man, you're going to roughly figure he's Peter Parker, power, responsibility, Uncle Ben dead, done.
Yep. Uncle Ben.
I think they're going to assume we can figure that bit out.
Yeah, we should hope. Well, though, there'll probably be flashbacks and stuff during the movie. I kind of like the idea of, like, superheroes in different ways. You're right, it's a thing that isn't very done. Although superhero games are bizarrely not very... excuse me, they're very few and far between these days. Like,
Well, there's a million Spider-Man games.
Yeah, and only 2 of them are good. Yeah, for the
Which is the other one
that Spider-Man's good at. One of the brawlers is entertaining, but again, there's no web swinging, so I can't remember which one it is now, though. One of the many. But yeah, like if you can actually now, like the Superman game for the PS2 is incredible because it plays a lot like the other one. You get to fly around the big city and save everyone and stuff, but there's no. It's very rare that a game like Batman's is okay because he punches people and we're good at punching people. When you get these bigger powers, you don't really get it. I mean, that's what sort of excites me about Just Cause 3 is the wingsuit is kind of like having the ability to fly. And it's very rare that games give you the ability to fly, even though it's really fucking easy for games to do. Like,
Just Cause 3 could just be Hancock the game.
Oh my god, it really is.
You're just flying, you're just flying around, looking slightly drunk as you swish from side to side, drunkenly destroying everything.
That is actually true, isn't it?
That is Hancock the game.
And you get to destroy trains.
Yes.
Oh my god, Just Cause 3 is Hancock the game. You heard it here first. I now want to play that game some more. Every time I play it, they always take it back off me. Bunch of bastards at Square Enix. Bunch of bastards let me put over 10 hours into that absolutely fantastic game. I'm so excited for. Hey, let's talk about a game you're super excited for. Because I know you can talk about for this for fucking hours. There's a game coming out. Very soon.
Oh yes, of course,
Very soon.
The new Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
I mean, November the 10th. I'm just going to be doing nothing but the new Tomb Raider.
Absolutely.
Constantly. Tomb Raider, whatever the hell the subtitle is, continuing the epic story of Lara Croft.
Subtitle, it's Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Right, yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider. That's right, that's it. So yeah, her epic story of whatever she did in Tomb Raider 1 and however that ended, continuing that.
Not Tomb Raider 1, Tomb Raider
that
reboot
story.
Called Tomb Raider because we reboot things now. Yes. The chat
Tomb Raider.
saying Tomb Raider. But okay, let's be serious now. Let's talk about the big release that we absolutely have to talk about. Need for Speed.
Do we have to talk about?
So
Need for Speed, yes.
The new Need for Speed has got absolutely ravaged. Like they rebooted it for some reason. I don't know why Need for Speed needs a reboot.
The story got too complex.
Why do I have my hat on backwards now? Is it what faction am I with? What's the metaphor for going around corners sideways?
I mean, did Need for Speed even have a story? Because like Fast and Furious, I'm told, does actually have quite a complex internal narrative now.
It does, yeah. It's got a lot of shit going on. But no, Need for Speed, every game is different. It's mostly just drive around and do stuff. There's sort of like, we're going back to what made this series great. Was that thing great? Car customization? Because they didn't really do a good job of that in this game. I think they were trying to go for Underground. I think they'd get more bang out of their buck if they called it Need for Speed Underground 3 or 4 or whatever the next one would have been. And actually...
Well, oh god, wait, how many Undergrounds were there already?
I don't know anymore. There are so many. Have a look at a list. Go search for list of Need for Speed games and read them off. And let's see how many we actually remember. Because what's great about the new one is it has always online DRM for no reason, which means it has no porn function. It has no porn function.
No porn function. Now that would be worth a reboot.
You just drifting around, getting a blowy. Yeah, extra points. The Twitch chat seemed to be spamming this dude's face with blonde hair. It's kind of a cheeky, chubby face for some reason. No idea. Maybe he's the character from Need for Speed. We'll call him Stan or something like that. But yeah, there's no pause function. You can't pause the new Need for Speed.
Oh, Christing hell, you're right.
What am I right about now? Everything.
Do you want the years these came out as well?
Let's
or just
go through the years as well.
Okay, this whole series only starts in 1994, so we've only had like 20 years of this.
Yes.
Need for Speed 94, Need for Speed 2 97, Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit 98, Need for Speed High Stakes 99, Need for Speed Road Challenge 99, Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed and Porsche 2000, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 2002, Need for Speed Underground 2003, Need for Speed Underground 2 4, Need for Speed Most Wanted 5, Carbon 6, Pro Street 7 Undercover 8, Shift 9, Nitro also 9, World 10, Hot Pursuit. Wait, we already had Hot Pursuit.
Yeah, they rebooted
Hot
it.
Pursuit came out after Hot Pursuit 2.
Yeah, they rebooted that.
Shift 2, because they changed, because it doesn't have Need for Speed in it, but is still part of the franchise. Shift 2 Unleashed 11, Need for Speed The Run 11, Need for Speed Most Wanted 12, Need for Speed Rivals 13, No Limit 15, Need for Speed Reboot 15, as well as Need for Speed V-Rally and V-Rally 2 crossovers in 97 and 99.
I lost count after 25.
That is pretty much 25.
That's okay. That's
25 in 20 years.
that is impressive. So I can see why they may want to go, let's go back to our roots, but they have rebooted individual games before. And it's such a big confusing thing now that I think they may need to give it a small break for a while. Come back to it later. Maybe bring back something like, I don't know, Burnout, perhaps. Give us a new Burnout. Not a shitty Burnout, but a new one, although... No, in fucking EA, if they did a Burnout these days, it would have like 4 tracks and there won't be crashes. We're streamlining the experience. It'd be Burnout 1 where there was no crashes and you could only boost when you had a full boost bar. The sad days. What's your favourite Need for Speed, John?
Oh god, I've closed the page. Hang on, let me get the page back open so I can pick one at random. I'm going to say Need for Speed Underground the second time round, because it came out after Need for Speed Underground 2, which for some reason amuses me. No, actually, I'll go for Need for Speed No Limits in 2015, because then the song No Limits could be the theme song, and that's a good song.
That is, actually, but I don't remember that one. I actually don't remember about half of the ones that you said. I always like Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Because that was the one that it was like one of the first like PC games that I pirated ever. And I remember it not working ever. And it was so entertaining how glitchy and broken it was. That was probably my favorite. And it had this song that whenever it came on, I would always crash.
Was it No Limit?
No, it wasn't. It was this song that started down, down. I'd be like, fuck, trying to change the song and crash. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy every single time. Absolutely.
You know the strange thing about the song No Limits?
What's the strange thing about the song No Limits?
You listen to that song because basically you want to hear the woman saying no, 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 there's no limit.
Yes.
She doesn't. At no point during the actual released single version of the song does she say that. There's a load of just instrumental where she'll just say no limit at the end of it. But at no point during the song does the famous bit everyone remember where she just goes no, no, and so on. That's not in the song. That blew my mind.
You've made that up. You've read a
No.
Wikipedia. I thought that someone said it.
No, I had a hankering to hear this song, so I listened to it on YouTube. And the released single version, she doesn't actually do the no, 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 no bit. Not extended, which is the bit everyone thinks is in the song, but it's not. It's also the most wonderful video you've ever seen, because it's like really ridiculously 80s, and they're dressed in really flashy silver clothing, standing in a giant pinball machine.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful video.
I'm very confused, because that's the only bit of that song that I know.
Exactly, and it's not even there.
It's like the other day when we were chatting and we looked up Star Trek and we found out that the gap between Voyager and Enterprise was just 4 months. Just 4 months.
That was weird.
Like they looked like it was set like so later. The set design, the way it was shot, the color grading, the uniforms, everything about it looked like it was about 5 to 10 years later, as far as TV went, which is odd. And scary.
Yeah, and I remember there being a big deal about Enterprise being like a big deal of, Star Trek, they're rebooting, it's all starting again, it's all going to be a big...
sort of
How much of a big deal could they have made of it when that big deal started being made, the old one was still on?
Yeah.
That's really weird, because I remember a big deal about it being at the time.
Okay, we're going to talk about one more game and then we're going to have a quick break. Christ knows how I do it.
You're right, we have to talk about the big November the 10th release.
Starcraft 2,
which is
Legacy
Starcraft
of the Void.
2, Legacy of the Void, yes.
I'm excited for that one.
Starcraft 2. Legacy of the Void, which is going to be the actual end. They've said it's going to be the actual end to the story. They're going to wrap it all up. They're not going to leave space for a sequel.
Or just StarCraft 2?
StarCraft 2's story is kind of a continuation of StarCraft 1 because all the stuff that was left over from like StarCraft 1 and Brood War set up StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty. So they're kind of it's all the big story of the like the Xel'Naga and stuff. Apparently that's all going to come to its end, and it feels somehow appropriate that like the way they've released it is now the Terran, Wings of Liberty, then Zerg, then Protoss. Because that mirrors the original campaigns that were in the very first StarCraft, where the campaigns went Terran, Zerg, Protoss. So it kind of feels right that it's going to end on the Protoss campaign. I like that.
Interesting. And that is the big November 10th release.
That is the big November the 10th release. That's going to be very exciting.
So much time, so many videos. It's going to be...
Yeah. Bronze League forever.
I wish I knew anything about StarCraft to keep that joke going. Right, we're going to take a break.
I genuinely like StarCraft.
Well, then you can talk about it after the break, when we come back.
I'm just terrible at it.
Don't go anywhere unless you want a sandwich or something. I don't know how to make this a break, so I'll just start talking and John will be surprised in a few minutes' time. Back in a bit.
Lovely. Yay!
Hey, guess what? We're back. Hang on. You're back. Hey, guess who's joined us?
Guess who's here?
Dan's not here.
Guess who's back?
Yeah, so...
Hooray!
Guess who's decided to wake the fuck up? Yeah. What's your excuse?
In fairness, this is the only live stream I've missed ever.
In fairness, it was the start one. God, I'm bloody Bennett. Apologies to John's cat there, who has to now take a step down. Thanks for filling in there, John's cat.
You know, I realise I've had Dan muted. Hang on.
You've got me muted as well.
There we go.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's fine. It's
Ladies
fine.
and gentlemen, Matt has very sleepily joined.
Look!
That John Cena thing was just to wake him up. Just to wake him
I
up.
heard the John Cena thing. I did go into the chat and I saw everyone arguing about the John Cena thing.
Oh, well, we can get rid of that for the YouTube version.
How's it been going?
Matt, do us a favour. Could you start recording your audio locally? Because I'm not recording this apart from locally. So you're currently not on the thing, the Sunday version.
Oh god, it's just going to sound like we're mad and talking to ourselves. We've gone mad and started hallucinating mad.
What we'll do is we'll come back from intermission again, like none of this ever happened. And
Are we even live right now? Are we live?
Oh, yeah.
You know...
Oh god.
I want to make a point in that it'll be better next time.
When Matt's ready to go.
Yes. When I'm not sleeping. In fairness, you did this last week, Daniel.
In fairness, I had to install XSplit, work out how it works, and set everything up in under 15 minutes. I did a
Also, frankly, you should have done that anyway at some point. So, there we go. I forced your hand. I'm the winner.
Something up you in a minute. Let's, Matt, are you recording locally now?
Yes, I am.
Hey,
yes.
We're going to go to intermission quickly, and we'll be back literally in a second. Because I want the smooth transition.
Man, part 2 is a great part.
I know, it's great. Hang on a second. Right, I'm putting the audio back on the thingy. Right. And everybody pretend this is the first time we're coming back. Nobody will be any the wiser. Oh, what a great intermission that was. Did everybody have a good intermission? Nothing bizarre?
Yeah, I had a lovely intermission.
Hang on a second.
The best thing to do would be to...
Who's this voice? Dun, dun, dun!
Dun,
Oh,
dun!
look who's decided to wake up and join us. It's John Cena. No, it's Matt. It's our
the best thing to
guest.
Would be to just completely edit out the fact that there was ever an intermission at all and actually make it a smooth transition so it doesn't even seem like this was a live stream.
Oh, I might do that, even though I said we're going.
It's too late now.
And then
it's too late. You fucked it up. Yeah, you fucked it up before the intermission because I wasn't here.
Yeah, Matt, you are an hour and 20 minutes late. The hashtag.
I'll accept that.
Go see you today.
I'll accept that. I did wake up at 9 p.m. after sleeping for 14 hours. This is correct.
I had to have a nap today. I actually did nap, but some of us did get up. You know, and join the thing and set it all up.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying to turn you down, and I'm totally okay with that because I have you up quite high.
Yeah.
Have you up extra high because I like that in a thing. So far we've discussed a whole bunch of shit that I can't remember because I was dicking around with the John Cena theme tune during the intermission, and then Matt turned up, and I've forgotten everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to reboot this stream. It'll have exactly the same name, and we'll start from the beginning. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, so we're going from the start for like the 2-hour start mark now.
Yeah.
We're need for speeding this stream right
Do
now.
you want me to stream it now? If we're starting again, should we just start?
Actually, if we reboot it, because it's a live stream, we won't be able to pause it, which does make it the Need for Speed reboot of this stream.
Oh, God.
Anyway, right, what else has been happening in the world of gaming news this week?
Well, we need to talk about the big release on November the 10th.
Yes. Okay.
Rodea the Sky Soldier.
I'm looking forward to Rodea the Sky Soldier. I think
yeah,
it's gonna...
especially the 3DS version.
Oh, they're definitely you're going to be looking forward to the 3DS version. Bruce chat's gone absolutely mad again. Fine, we'll talk about it. Super Beat Exonic on November the 10th for the PS Vita. Excited? I think we're all excited for it.
That's such an obscure release, I didn't even have that one on my list.
Google. Oh, hang on. I'm Googling releases. Hang on. Oh, I'm not prepared at all,
Matt,
really.
the joke we're doing is we keep setting up the big November the 10th reveal, and we're not talking about that Fallout Boy game that's coming out.
I know.
You know that one that's a biography of the Fallout guy?
I do,
We're
yes.
not
I'm
talking
very
about
aware.
that.
I know.
We're not talking
Daniel,
about that one
I'm
yet.
aware. Daniel
Okay.
and John, I'm very aware.
Well, considering you can't tell time, I just assumed that, there'd be other things I'd have to explain to you. We did impressions of you, Matt. It was good. It was like you were here anyway.
Great. I'm sure they were very complimenting.
Well, you did sound a bit like Father Jack all the time, but that's pretty much who you are. It's true.
What?
Oh, you're Father Jack.
Oh, my Father Jack.
Because you sit in the corner and you go, drink, feck, arse, and that's you. With slightly stronger swear words. You're clearly an earlier version of... That's like what you have to look forward to. That's what you're going to look like.
Your problem, Matt, is you're not that easy to imitate because, we know two vague things. I know two vague things about you, which is the whole Liverpool-y thing and the Irishy thing. But you don't actually have a Liverpudlian or Irish accent, which is very unfair.
No,
A lot of people
you
tell
swear like
me
you swear
this.
like an Australian, so it's very confusing. Right.
I'm too tired and drowsy to argue.
Fine. Let's talk about the November release, the big one that everyone is excited for. Star Wars Battlefront! Yay!
Yay!
All right, John, go nuts.
Wait.
I think
hang
we've
on.
run this joke into the ground. Oh god.
Wait, is that coming out on? No, is that coming out on the same day as well?
No, it's a week.
No,
later.
that's 17th. It's a week
Thank
later.
God.
It's a week
Okay,
later.
good. Go on, John.
Knock off Bandy.
I'm wondering what you're expecting me to do. Do you think I'm just kind of got some sort of little ball of Fallout 4 hidden inside me that, when prompted, explodes into a big flower of verbiosity?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we to be perfectly honest, with 40 minutes left, we're kind of banking on it.
In fairness, John, you made an entire video speculating about the perk system for an hour and a half. So
I know, but now I don't dare talk about it at all because I don't dare because I now can't remember what bloody is or isn't public domain. I don't want to break embargo in the slightest.
Ooh, embargo's a tricksy. Wouldn't fucking know. They didn't send me a fucking review copy. Anyway.
they didn't.
No, I'm not guilty of cutting or anything. Look, seriously, the only reason I want to get early versions of games is because I need to get them out of the way before Just Cause comes
Especially
out.
Fallout, it's such a long game as well.
Yeah, it's just... Hey, I have a thing to talk about a long game. We can get back to Fallout later. And we will. John, it's the point you're on this show. It's the point you're the host of this show, so we can talk about it every
I
single
haven't
week.
played it. I can't talk about a game I haven't played.
Have you seen how much I've talked about Just Cause 3 before Just Cause 3 came out? I'm going to talk about those shit. I always talk about games you haven't played. That's the fun. That's what the fun is. That's the hype. John, that's the hype. That's the train. That's what we live off.
You're a
That's the
prick.
thing. Yeah. What was that insult for? Just, you're a prick.
It just whenever you talk about hype, every time you say the word hype, I just say, oh god, Dan's a prick in my head.
Everybody, at Mattphobia, hashtag hype.
Oh.
Now you're going to be hyped. Hype is important. Hype is fun. I like hype.
Really? I've never noticed.
Yeah, I like if you're hyped for a game and you're like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing, and it comes out and it's amazing. But it's that community feel that lasts for years. Like if a game like GTA 5 was like between the first trailer and release was like 2 years, and the constant hype and reading all the little bits they leaked out and sharing and speculating and chatting and seeing the shitty fan-made maps and people like, is this the leaked map? And it never is. Was always great, and I love that sort of stuff for big release. I'm not going to get hyped for every fucking thing. That's just...
No.
You just can't do that shit. But I think hype is important.
Well, no, I get annoyed because games publishers try and build hype when there isn't any. Like, you know Guitar Hero, right? Activision. Because I was on their mailing list for Guitar Hero, because I went, you know, I like Guitar Hero, I'd like to hear more about that. They invited me to a press event in which everyone was going to go to a field and throw TVs off a large shipping container.
What?
Yes. Hang on. You said the wrong game. You said Guitar Hero, not TV Smash Simulator 2015.
No, actually.
So they're trying to recreate the feeling of being a rock star throwing a TV out off a balcony into a swimming pool by taking you into a field and letting you throw it off a shipping container.
Onto a field of grass, yes. With a load of game journalists.
Do you get your own TV, or do you have to keep reusing the same TV that's thrown over and over because they can only afford one TV?
Just take the TV home.
Well, no, here's the thing. Here was the annoying thing, right? They wouldn't give you a copy of Guitar Hero to review unless you went to it.
Wow.
So, I kept asking for one, and they were like, "Oh, are you going to unbox it?" I was like, "No, I'm going to play it and review it like a person." And they were like, "Oh, we're only giving them away for unboxing." What the fuck do you want? So I gave up with them, frankly. But that's games publishers trying to build hype for shit that doesn't need hype building for it.
I like stupid hype like that because that's fun. That's like it's like experience the rebellion of a rock star throwing a TV out of a hotel room window by doing it in a place where we give you permission and the TV, and you have no guilt or rebellion, and you're not cool. You're just a neckbeard throwing a thing off of a shipping container.
Yeah.
How did they get onto the shipping container? I think there'd be a lot of problems. Just game shows going, I can't climb. I have no arm strength.
I think they had some stairs.
Oh, okay, good. That's no. They actually thinking about it in this day and age. They have to also have like a disabled access ramp as well, which would be hilarious.
Well, I saw the shipping containers they were using.
In a wheelchair, throw a TV off of a shipping container.
No, because they weren't. The thing is, they weren't just shipping containers. It was the Guitar Hero amp shipping containers. They had them at EGX. I think you might have seen them, John. They were two shipping containers, one on top of the other.
Oh, they were actually quite tall.
Yeah, they had.
That's actually quite tall. Yeah,
they had a big thing on the front of it to make it look like a massive amp. And they had Guitar Hero booths inside it to play, like two because they were shipping containers, so they weren't very big. But that's how they demoed the game.
That's better than just a shipping container in a field. That is better.
No, it's a shipping container with a bit of cardboard in the front in a field. It's not any better.
It's a little better. The cardboard adds a
tiny bit better.
A little bit of dignity and decorum.
Decorum. Guitar Hero decorum.
Yeah, that's the name of the new one. You just play classic rock. Hey! That's a good joke. I like that one. Speaking of hype, Binding of Isaac Afterbirth just had all of its content released, which was locked after 109 hours. A patch came out that unlocked it, and if you went to the Ultra Greed and beat Ultra Greed and put coins in, he spawns a little like donation box. That locked at 109, and 109 was how long it took to for data miners when Rebirth came out to dig out the Lost, who was the secret character, and how to unlock the Lost. And so after 109 hours, then they just added this extra content. So it was set up like, hey, there's going to be an ARG and there's going to be a huge mystery to solve in the game. And what it actually was Edmund being a bit of a dick to everyone, which I think is wonderful. Like, they're all really pissed off, but it's such a minor thing. I think, what do we think about this turn of events?
So they added content after 109 hours after the update came out.
Because the expansion pack said it was going to be like 120 items, and there was only like 70 in the game or something, and this patch just added the rest. So it looked like they were setting up for mysteries, but most of it just kind of went live.
So basically, it's free content, but just delivered in a slightly passive aggressive style.
People had to kind of just wait 4 days basically just a passive aggressive
passive aggressive DLC.
Yeah,
passive aggressive DLC.
If I really like Bakewell tart, and someone bakes me a really nice Bakewell tart, but ices fuck you on top of it, I'm not going to object. I'm still going to eat the Bakewell tart and say thank you for it because it's lovely.
John, I will have pissed in the tart as well. Clearly that tart is from me. I will have pissed in it as well. John.
Matt is the master.
Do you know how to make a Bakewell tart? I'm not convinced you know how to make a good Bakewell tart.
I don't even know what a Bakewell tart is.
You're aware.
Oh, Bakewell tarts are great.
Matt's surname is Kipling. Just saying.
No, it's not. No, it's
Hashtag Matt Kipling.
no. His surname
It's true.
is Collins.
You can't prove it. You can't prove that. Where's your birth certificate? Oh, I'm getting all Trump now. Anyway, no. So it's this passive aggressive content lock. I think is beautiful in its way.
Apparently, he tweeted
a lot of people
saying
were
it was
really
a bug.
annoyed. Yeah, well, he would say that, wouldn't he? After the negative reaction he had.
Yeah.
But it was so 109 hours exactly after the game came out, and the number 109 everywhere, and that it's all leads up. I think that's not a bug. I think that's very entertaining. But a lot of people were really pissed off. They're like, "Oh, he punished all the fans." I'm like, "You got to play a game for 109 hours and have fun and chat." It was like, seriously, because the expansion pack adds over 100 hours of new content. So if you played it constantly through the whole time, you still didn't see everything anyway. So you still wouldn't have fixed anything. I will say that new patch completely broke my favourite character, though, which really pissed me off. They nerfed Azazel. They doubled his charge time and massively reduced his damage. It takes an entire to kill one tiny baby spider now, and he's useless. He's absolutely useless. I'm like, why? It was literally today's literally the 1 year anniversary of Rebirth, and they're like, no.
The thing with Binding of Isaac, though, is people complain about it. They always go, frankly, if you're playing Binding of Isaac, you're playing it irregardless of the new content. People just keep, if you're that kind of person to keep playing that game, you will keep playing the game irregardless of how much content it really has.
Stop using the word irregardless.
Irregardless.
You mean either regardless or irrespective?
Irrejohnless.
Irrejohnless. That means you have no willy. True story.
We don't
laughed at that joke shows you how much quality we're adding to this stream.
I know.
John's like, I'm very serious. I'm very, very smart.
He's wearing his fucking linen suit, that's why.
Woo!
Okay, I'm wearing a linen shirt right now.
Yes!
Fine.
Nailed it! 10 points.
But it's one of my casual linen shirts.
Linen shirts.
He's got Candy Crush drawn all over it.
I assume you've spoken about that already.
Yes, you're too late for that, Matt. Been through that one. Can't bitch. We even spoke about VR, which is the whole reason we had you as the fucking guest for the first episode. But oh well, you missed all that shit.
You missed the good news.
Yeah, you missed all the good news.
Oh.
It's all good news. It was all good news, and now you've blown it. I'm really annoyed they nerfed Azazel, or fucking name is.
I don't know why they do that though, because the idea of I always thought of Azazel was just like a bit of a head start, so you can get to the later game a bit faster.
I think that he's very well balanced because he has the absolute shit health. Because he has zero health.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah.
He starts with. You can't just pick up regular health, which makes him awful to start with. And also, he has a very, very limited range, which means that a lot of the later bosses are very, very difficult unless you get like the actual brimstone pickup. You can't increase that. So I thought he was a well-balanced character. I think he's different play style, but now he's just sort of yeah. But he's sort of a bit sort of easier mode, but now he's just He was more fun. You get to explore and test out new things.
As he went Bree mode.
You go back and you do the proper runs with Isaac, etc. Etc. What else has happened in news of this gaming week?
Weren't you going to talk about Fallout? Wasn't that the thing that was being discussed? That you
but I watched the twat's reaction. Oh my god, we should just call Twitch chat the twat from now on.
I've been doing that for months, Dan. I've been doing that for months.
You've called them twats?
And cunts.
But just call it the twat. Because it's Twitch chat. Twat. Oh my god, guys. Guys, in the Twitch chat. Twat. Do it now. They're all saying F.
Right.
It's all being fixed. Azazel enough was a bug, he will be fixed as someone. Oh, thank Christ for that. Good.
How do you do that as a bug?
A video game.
How does that happen? Yeah, but that's something that you would have had to specifically change. That's not.
Maybe he changed. No, because they give them the item, so maybe actually nerf.
The item, yeah. Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
Or a combination of items, which is what makes that game great. Here's some big news. I just scrolled past. Forza 6 is getting Fallout 4 cars.
What?
That's not news.
That's news. It's on my news thing.
That's not news. That's a slow news day and a cow got its head stuck in a bucket.
Cow got its head stuck in a bucket? Simulator 2015.
Actually, there was the number one red story on BBC News a few months ago was cow gets head stuck in fence.
Jesus. No, wait.
Would you believe it happened in Somerset?
I don't. I
would. Somerset.
Fallout 4.
Right.
are doing a lot of this hype stuff. Like, they're doing a lot of this weird marketing stuff like that. Like really specific stuff, which I don't really get.
They've taken the merchandising a bit OTT as well. They've gone a bit too much on that.
Like, you know those big Fallout 4 Vault Boy statues, the ones that look like the massive bobbleheads that are about the same height? We saw one at EGX.
Yeah.
They're being given out to...
Yeah,
what?
the YouTubers and stuff, they're getting those. I'm like, I look forward to your fair and balanced review of Fallout 4.
Do you know how much those massive statues are worth? I actually found out.
How much?
$1,000 each.
I will make them out of papier-mâché and sell them to you for 50.
There we go, we started a business today.
Like, I
Wow.
don't... Because I know, because I was like curious, like, I was like, I wouldn't mind one of those in my living room. Are they available to buy at some point? And they were like, no, they were like 50 were made and they're like 1,000 each. So I was like, what the fuck?
Wow. That's...
YouTubers getting them, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It does sound like there are currently more giant bobblehead statues in circulation than there is review code for Fallout 4.
Yeah.
No, that's
They got the numbers the right side. Damn it, Steve! You were supposed to produce five statues and several hundred bobbleheads, not 500 statues and only 5 sets of review code.
The problem with review codes is it becomes quite an interesting thing to yeah, it's a difficult thing to talk about. Because a lot of the embargoes, just when you're like, hey, I'll have a review code, it's like, right, you've officially signed this embargo that says you can't talk about anything. And I'm like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of them have, like, you can't talk about the fact you have the code in the first place.
Yeah.
So, a lot of embargoes are annoying as a result.
They're very... Sorry, but that's the reason that we don't accept, like, any gifts and shit. Like, I'll accept a game. I won't accept, like, a super-duper special thing that's fucking like, where would you put that? Like, if you bought a Fallout, that just becomes like a really big hat stand. Then again,
yes, that's a fantastic use as a hat stand.
I am currently in the process of buying a life-size Dalek, but let's not talk about that.
You're a prick.
Hashtag Patreon money!
No, I was literally just thinking, just showing up in the Doctor Who experience with bags with Patreon written.
I'll have that one. No, it's like I've been saying up for absolutely ages, and I'm buying a house at the moment, and it's the first thing I'm going to put in my house before furniture. I'm going to have a proper official Dalek, which is quite
a proper official one.
Yeah, a properly made.
You're going to get a moving one?
Yeah, no, it'll be an actual Dalek you can sit in and go around in like they do.
This is.
Dalek.
Do you have to be a midget to do that? 'Cause it's very
you
small
sit down.
people that used to
They're all
fit
sitting
inside
down
them.
in them. They all sit down in the Daleks. It's a very tight fit, but it's something you can absolutely sit down in. But that's
Everyone's going to stop supporting your Patreon suddenly.
Well, no, the Patreon money is very nice. It's paying 2 staff members now.
Yeah.
It's got to the point where it's doing incredibly well. Thank you to everyone who's backed me. You've all sent me terrifically large amounts of messages that I'm trying to get round to answering. I don't know if I can,
He won't.
but I will. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna absolutely.
You barely answer my messages. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but you don't pay me anything. I pay you. I'm just saying. It goes the other way around. But no, that was absolutely incredible. The outshowing of support was terrifyingly large, and we almost broke the website. They really freaked out that the website was getting hit a lot. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's one of like the biggest Patreon launches ever. It's great.
What?
Nice.
What did you do?
I don't know. I spent a lot of time crafting like the best video I can make and making the page as attractive as possible, and I built up this big hype around it and everything. See, hype. That's what it is. It's a hype man. I don't fucking know.
You'd be great at fucking video game PR, and everyone would hate you.
I would. That's why I don't do it. That's why I know that if this all goes to shit and somehow the games goes to shit and the writing goes to shit, that's probably an actual job that you'd be able to do.
We're a nice balance about talking about gaming marketing, because John worked in marketing for many years. You'd be really good at gaming marketing, but you've never done it. And I fucking hate gaming marketing. So
altogether, hey!
Yeah.
We're doing pretty alright.
Good balanced team.
Yeah, I suppose. Please talk about Minecraft story mode, said someone.
Oh, yeah.
That came out.
Did you know the second episode came out as well?
Yeah, that came out really fast.
And it was half an hour long.
Ooh, nice.
Second episode was half an hour long. You've played it?
How much is the season pass for this whole thing?
Probably £20. Yeah.
Hang on.
You can't buy individual episodes, which I don't understand.
They used to be able to. But
yeah,
they stopped because
I was trying to just buy the first episode for the video because I knew I had no real interest in it, but I wanted to have a go at it. And
Oh, you used to be able to do that.
yeah, but now
Oh,
it's just there's the full thing. It's like oh. Talk about
'Cause they
Undertale.
I mean-
No, I've not finished it yet.
Because like the thing that they do with these story mode, especially Telltale, is that they always used to. I remember the old ones. It used to be each episode was a separate game entirely.
Yeah, like the Back to the Future one.
And they just
awful
takes a load of
Jurassic Park
space.
one.
Yeah, and then the newer ones, they were each DLC.
Yeah.
And now it seems that they are just you
One
buy the
game.
whole thing, yeah, and they just update it every so often. But I suppose
That's how Life is Strange went. Yeah.
yeah, but I suppose for most people, you're going to be buying the whole thing anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't.
No,
I always feel-
I think they should, because a lot of them used to come out. Here's the first episode to get you into it, and then you can buy the
Well, yeah.
rest.
Yeah, call me crazy. That's how it clearly ought to work.
Well, yeah.
You should give the first episode away for free,
Well, I like that
especially once
idea,
the second
yeah.
episode's out.
Yeah.
I love that
Maybe
idea,
charge
yeah.
for the first episode when it's the only episode there. But as soon as episode 2 comes out, make episode 1 free.
I think on iOS they do something like that, because on obviously iOS they do it through like in-app purchases instead. I'll check. Actually.
Game of Thrones just did that. I think Game of Thrones, the Telltale
Oh, what a
game.
shit
Literally,
game.
they just put the first. I think the whole first episode's now freely available.
Oh yeah, but they do it when it's all out.
I swear I've
though.
seen that on Twitter loads of times.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the one on iOS, you pay £4 for the base one, and then you buy every one separately in app. Because they know they'd never sell it on the iOS App Store if they charge £20. Did you know Guitar Hero Live's available on iOS?
No, I didn't.
No,
know that.
it's available. No, here's the scummy thing. Like, it's available for free on iOS, right? And I thought when I looked at it, it looks like just a mobile version, like the old ones. I was like, oh, you know what? That's all right. And it was like, oh, it's free, and you buy the song. And I was like, okay, that seems like an all right thing. So I I was about to download it. And the reviews were terrible. I was like, why are the reviews terrible? Looked. Turns out you get 2 songs, right? There's one in-app purchase for £45, and it's unlocking the full game to be used with a guitar on your phone.
So 2 songs.
Yes. Because it's the full
2?
game. It's not an
Which
iOS.
2?
It's not an iOS version. No, it's just it's the normal game that you need the guitar for, but on iOS.
Which are the 2 songs? Because that matters a lot.
Hang on. I'm going to check this.
Is one of them No Limits?
No. No.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love it when things say I have no limits. Oh, that's my favourite thing. Let's see. Reviews, 1 star.
People have been
yeah.
spamming me, by the way, telling me apparently in the extended version she does the no, there's
solved.
no limits. Yeah. People have even been sending me photos of them holding the original CD versions they bought, demonstrating the various versions on it.
Everything has fanboys. That's the weird thing.
Well, I've still got my old CDs that I used to have back in the day. I've still got them in a box somewhere. I should dig through them and just show them off at some point, because I had terrible music taste when I was young.
I don't have any CDs. I bought one. I've only ever owned one music CD in my entire life.
What?
Would you like to
Oh.
guess
What
what
is-
it is?
Is it the
It
James
was a
Blunt one?
single. And I was given it for a present at some point.
What is it?
Oh.
It was Hearsay, Pure and Simple,
Oh.
Dear.
which was the very first. It was Pop. What was it? Pop. No, what's the one that survived? Pop Idol?
Pop Star the Rivals, I think?
No, not even the Rivals. It was just Pop Star or whatever it was. It was
Was
the
it just
first
Pops?
X Factor kind of thing, the very first
Yeah.
one, and it was given to me because it was
Pop
a
Idol,
huge
yeah.
thing. No, it wasn't Pop Idol. Pop Idol was like the second one. It was like Pop Stars or something.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it was Pops, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah,
I
before
can
it was-
look this shit up. It was awful as well. So yeah, I got millions and billions of song albums and things, but I bought them all off Amazon because I love buying them off Amazon because they download really fast. Amazon does it all like with no DRM. I love that so much.
Yeah,
Just
and if you
download
buy the
it.
CD, they just give you the downloads anyway.
That they do, which is why I always give people CDs at Christmas and buy them. I'm like, yeah, music that you like and I like, done. That's a gift. Oh
Yeah, I always buy CDs for the superior audio quality. I'm a knob.
It was Pop Stars in February 2001.
Oh God.
2001, wow.
Was the first sort of. Well, it wasn't the first. I was about to say first sort of reality TV show, but they always had sort of like the whatever Nights of the Apollo and stuff like that. But no, it was the proper. It was the big one.
I would have recently just.
It was pretty early, like Big Brother, the original Big Brother in Britain can't have been much before 1997.
I don't know, but I'm gonna look it up. I never watched Big Brother. I found it very boring.
Yeah.
The first series won by cheeky chappy Craig.
I don't know who that is. But you
What?
sounded like...
Nobody knows who that is anymore.
Why do you remember that?
You knew who that was.
It's just one of those odd facts I just happened to remember because I watched the very first series and then I don't think never again after that. But I remember the Liverpudley and Craig won it.
Yeah. Someone says they buy CDs so Apple can't take their music away. I assume because they want to buy. You know, iTunes is DRM free as well. Just saying.
No, it's not.
Oh, it is now.
It's iTunes. It's an impossibly awful system that your computer will never forgive you
Honestly,
for installing.
right. The recent one, the newest updates, actually, it's a good application now because they went, okay, we want to have Apple Music compete with stuff now. Actually, let's make the application work on Windows, and it does. So, yay.
I don't believe you.
Well, I mean, I'd be biased anyway because I've used it for like 10 years.
I use Winamp.
Winamp.
Yeah. The first series of Big Brother was 2000. There you go. So Popstars was a year later.
Really close by.
Why'd you say it like that? You're 2000.
I was about to say 2001, and then I scrolled up slightly, and then just thought 2000. So I went, I'll stop talking there.
Okay, good.
Holy shit! It's still going on. I thought it was axed.
No.
It was axed by one channel and a different channel bought it.
Yeah.
Oh, Channel 5 bought it. Wow, but it's got tits in it finally now. That was always the big issue with it, wasn't it? It was like, everybody wants to see boobies. It's the point of Big Brother, isn't it?
I'm good. We're like, oh, that's gaming podcast. Now we're just talking about Big Brother.
I really want... Well, no, I said it's gaming and also whatever the fuck comes up. It's pub conversation. I kind of want to add almost pub audio to the back of it, sort of thing. Just nice background.
That would annoy the shit out of people.
That's why I'm not going to do it. I'll just add
Good.
grunge metal. But no, I want I want to see this Big Brother where they go through the door and they close the door behind them and then just in a white room and then just like the floor opens up and they slide into a completely pitch black cube of like 3 meters by 3 meters with 12 people in it and just see what happens.
No, you know what would be a great idea? You do Fallout sponsor Big Brother for one season and they make the entire thing like a Fallout vault, but they don't tell anyone.
Oh my god.
And they just put the occasional man dressed up as like a Securitrol or something in there.
A reality TV show set around the Fallout universe with people who run into a nuclear bunker and they're like, oh, it's going to be a Big Brother kind of thing, but it's actually this weird nuclear bunker and then horrible shit starts happening.
Oh yeah, and they make it...
What you could do is if people ever get like sort of alone, you could like drag them through hidden doors and stuff. And then you could just leave some blood splatter where they were. And really start freaking people the fuck out.
But you can do that, but
you do it in the middle of nowhere, and then after like a couple of weeks, you just redress the surrounding area to make it look like a nuclear action. They just open the door and just have no one there waiting for them to think they actually survived a nuclear apocalypse.
That's it. You pretend like you act like you put them there. Go, oh, it's no Big Brother, and then they go, and then you just make it seem like there's been a nuke gone off.
Oh my god. That would be amazing.
You traumatize the shit out of them, you know. You make it seem like everyone they know is dead, and then you just watch them for weeks. Oh, that'd be really cruel, but also amazing.
I want that so bad.
I'd pay for that.
They actually did something not dissimilar to that once.
What?
It was called Space Cadets, where they told a whole bunch of people they were being trained and they were going to be sent on a secret mission into space.
And
you watched Space Cadets?
I watched Space Cadets. It was so cool. They trained them and shit, and they were like, you won't experience any artificial gravity because you'll be in space. But they had them like in a simulator, and it sort of pulled back, and they're like, you'll be in orbit, so there won't be low gravity. And they told these people they were going to be going into space. And they had actors in there as well. They had a few actors scattered around the place who would keep everything going on the straight and narrow. That was probably entirely fixed, but I quite enjoyed that.
I like the idea of fooling people, but I suppose making people seem like everyone they know is dead and their entire world's been destroyed is a bit more nefarious than sending them into space in a nice, friendly space mission.
But let's be perfectly honest. The sort of people who go on Big Brother deserve it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
If you want the cathartic,
wipe them out. Let's actually we'll actually start leaking radiation in, so they start dying of radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
And then whoever's the last one left alive is the winner. They're like, hey, they kill them or something.
We can test the effects of long-term radiation on. You know what? It'd be like an actual Fallout vault, an actual genuine one then as well.
That's an actual Vault-Tec experiment right there.
There we go. We've sorted it. We are paving. Let's just make Vault-Tec and instead of just fuck it. Instead of making Vault-Tec a thing that tries to find stuff out, that's just fucking reality TV.
We should do this.
We need several $1 billion.
I think that's
money.
also murder as well.
Yeah,
The next reward tier at Patreon. We will start murdering people with a reality TV
We
show.
will become Voltec.
We need your Patreon
What's it-
donations to afford a legal team to allow us to keep murdering people. We're gonna need some really good lawyers.
Like every time the lawyers is like every time we murder someone's like, no, they haven't been murdered. They are alive and well. Can we see them? No. Why not? They are in isolation temporarily due to radiation poisoning. But are they alive? Yes. Are you sure? Yes, we're very sure they're alive. But no, we haven't checked. No. And then you just do that for months until everyone's dead and all the lawyers are dead and they can't do anything. You just keep pretending that everyone's alive.
So, did that scenario just end with 6 billion people being dead?
Yeah, right.
You just said everyone dead.
You know,
How many people just died in this scenario?
show, we'd have a lot of
How much Patreon money do you think there is?
We'd have a lot of seasons and the show would expand quite quickly, alright?
This is the ultimate Patreon rewards tier. If we get to this level, I will wipe out all life on Earth.
I like that. If we started a Kickstarter to fund a death laser to blow up Earth, I bet we'd hit the goal.
Make a tier, Dan. Put it on Patreon. Put a tier down. Like you could make
$2
tiers
million
with goals.
tier.
No, there's tiers. There's like goals. Like if you make
you can
this
do
much
that.
a month, just be like, if we make 7 billion a month, we will wipe out humanity.
Someone in the Twitch chat says, this podcast has taken a turn. Little bit,
Because I
yeah.
arrived.
Because Matt arrived and he brought his darkness with him.
Okay, if you want to see
On my
people in a
hair.
reality show dying horribly, but you don't want to feel bad because you're actually murdering them, there was the TV
Hang on,
series
you feel
Dead
bad
Set.
for murdering people?
Occasionally, yes.
What the fuck,
There was a
John?
TV
Not
series
allowed.
Dead Set. Did anyone see Dead Set?
Was
Heard of
Jet
it.
Set the
I think it was
Charlie
Brooker.
Brooker's zombie Big
Yeah, I
Brother
think
thing?
Brooker wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it actually had Davina McCall in it as a zombie.
Yes. I haven't
And
seen
it was actually
I am
rather
aware
good.
of it. It's one of those things
It's
I'm like, that's
actually
a great
rather good.
idea, I'll never watch it. Because it's...
I watched it. It's genuinely quite good. I mean, it goes a bit off the rails when you know after a few episodes they basically get out of the house and just turns into a generic let's survive
yeah,
outside
of course,
the
like
house.
I said, was saying earlier, every single cool idea they eventually have to give up on to try and keep things going.
I mean, they go back to the house, but they have to repeatedly leave the house to get the right supplies or something. And whenever they leave the house, it's boring. And one of them's got family member who's a subplot who was never in the house in the first place. So like, there's a whole bunch of time it's not in the house, and it would work so much better if they just knew what was going on, but they were trapped in the house indefinitely. But it's still pretty damn good. It's still a pretty damn good show.
I want to watch this. I'm sure I should watch this maybe because it was Big Brother, but a zombie apocalypse happened outside Big Brother, and then
Yes.
basically the Big Brother shelter was like a shelter from the undead.
So
Exactly.
my Fallout idea about zombies.
Yeah,
Pretty much, yes.
That's boring. Only
it's
nuclear.
boring.
Only
This
nuclear
was
fallout is
2005.
exciting.
This is when zombies weren't even cool yet.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, before zombies got oversaturated by every game ever, every single game, every one of them.
What are you chatting about? Okay, yeah, you're right. What was the game that had zombies for no fun? Oh, Saints Row 3 had the zombies, didn't it?
And I think now.
Yeah, it just had a couple of missions where there were mysterious zombie gas was released.
Yeah, but the island stayed
okay.
like, filled with zombies.
Oh yeah, and that like the entire little island just filled with zombies for no real reason.
Oh,
you could
But
do
that
some
was
other
okay
ones.
because then you could choose the option that meant you could summon a horde of the undead to do your bidding, which was quite good.
I have a
care for
question about Dead Set, because I never watched it. Did they eventually reveal it was a big giant prank, or was it really the zombie apocalypse?
No, it was really the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
Are you happy for me to spoil the ending of Dead Set to everyone on this live podcast?
If you don't want to know how something that's literally 10 years old ended, you can go. We've only got 5 minutes
Okay.
left, but yeah.
Basically, it looked like it was set up that they were gonna find a way to survive, but because they bickered and didn't work together as a team, every single person except the main character ended up dead, and it ended with her sealing herself in the diary room because and everyone else was a zombie or dead, and it just ended with her sitting in the diary room staring dead-eyed into the camera.
Nice. That's
The implication being she's either going to starve in there or be eaten by the zombies. There was no chance. Everyone died, basically.
That's a very Brooker sort of ending. He writes some bleak shit. Black Mirror is amazing. That's like my limit of
I
horror.
love Black Mirror. I love Black
Mirror
Mirror.
is my horror limit. That's like as far as I will take horror because I'm like, I don't like what's going on, but I'm wrapped.
Well, good horror.
Some of the
is
stuff in
tense.
White Christmas almost went beyond what I was comfortable with.
Yes, it
Good
fucking
horror.
did.
Jim Sterling did a good episode of the Jimquisition recently about horror games, and it applies to anything horror related. In that horror is about like tense it is and how it's not just jump scares and shit, you know, which is what every horror movie and every fucking horror game does nowadays. It's about the atmosphere.
This is why Resident Evil 4 is the best horror game that I'll keep playing, because it knows that for overly long periods of time with nothing happening is the tensest thing. Because as soon as there's a monster running at you and you're holding a gun, well, you're in gun mode now. That's the scary bit over. Now let's get the action bit going on. But that bit of, is there going to be something around this corner, or this corner, or this corner? Oh, maybe I'm safe. Okay, maybe there's nothing. A monster in the fridge! You know, it's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 does have the odd jump scare, though, which is a little cheap.
It does.
That bastard in the oven.
Yeah.
That bastard in the oven.
Jump scares work, I think. I don't like them, so I won't play a game with jump scares in, because why would I want it? No, go away.
You see, they're very...
Oh, I'm terrified. I'm so scared, Daniel.
Yeah,
if Dan jumped out on me anywhere, I just go, oh. It wouldn't even be scary. It'd just be, oh, he's here.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Yes, it would be. I'm just waiting for the Twitch reaction. God bless this 20-second delay. God bless it. There he goes!
I'm happy to plug Soma here, because Soma's fantastic at that. Soma has no jumps, literally zero jump scares.
Okay, I might play that then.
Well, okay, maybe one, and maybe one in the entire bloody game, but it's a really mild one. But it's all about just psychologically creeping you out and making you feel deeply uncomfortable. It's a lovely game.
Well, I avoided
Christmas
every...
family.
It's also it's a beautiful YouTube troll. It's basically just the whole game is a troll for obnoxious YouTubers. Ooh, nice. Because obviously everyone who played, lots of people who played it expected it to be like Dark Descent, Amnesia, and all of that, and they expected they could just kind of scream into the camera obnoxiously for it. But there's no jump scares and very few monsters. All these people that played it with, face cams and preparing to scream melodramatically for the camera, there was nothing for them to do. It was just philosophical questions.
It's like I'm okay with that, because there's nothing that annoys me on YouTube more than going to the front page and seeing just people pulling silly faces. I have this thing against silly faces. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's something deep in my biology that when I see somebody pulling a silly face, I just want them to be hit by a car. Like it's just that level of, I'm like, oh, I'm so scared, I might just die. I like deadpan. Rodney Trotter walking into a room, perfectly straight face, but wearing some silly costume because he's the weirdest, lankiest looking person on the planet, is the funniest thing. And if he was going, oh, I'm so wacky, it would kill it. So I'm a fan of not silly faces.
Yeah, kids like younger audience like them, don't they?
Yes, but they also like Minecraft, and I can't be fucked by that shit anymore. I burnt out on that thing.
I watched, I think it was the day, maybe this is why I slept so long. Yesterday I watched like a few archives of just random Twitch streamers and just some like random popular, just see what was going on, because I hadn't, I only knew of like a couple of big YouTubers. Like, I'll see what the popular things are. They were all fucking awful. Oh my god. Gee, I watched some live streams. It was just like, as I said, face cam, but it wasn't even like someone was playing Undertale, and somehow pulling silly faces while playing Undertale. How do you pull silly faces? It's what? How?
I could do it. I've got the skills, Matt.
Yeah, but you just don't have to. You don't even pull a face and you're making a silly face. Just look at your face. Oh, you have a face. Well done. It's silly.
I have a good face, Matt. Are you insulting my face, Matt?
Yeah, that was a bit harsh,
In
Matt.
fairness,
that was over the line.
I'm allowed. I'm 8 years old.
That is true. Right, we're gonna. On that note, if there's anything we want to talk about before we finish off?
Fallout.
Has everyone else seen the trailer for Detroit?
Detroit.
Quantic Dream's new thing.
That's my David Cage alarm.
We
can't talk about David Cage on this podcast because I just
we did that at the thingy stream.
We watched it. We did that. We broadcast that shit live. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah. It's like Remember Me crossed with Beyond Two Souls.
He's there going. When they did an interview, he's like, oh, I don't want people to think we're doing sci-fi. I'm like, oh, the fact it's a robot that's come to life probably in the future. And you're not doing sci-fi.
Nah,
he thinks he's clever. It's an idea that's
But don't forget, it's a robot that has a soul and knows how to love.
Yeah, we've been doing
and
this,
wants to be free.
We've been doing this since Wizard of fucking Oz. So let's... Seriously, every single one is a variation on the Tin Man Wants a Heart. So we'll just draw a line there. Oh yeah, John, is there anything you'd like to say about Fallout before it comes out? Because
God, I hope it's good.
Me too.
Please let it be good.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm actually, it's not my thing, but this is sort of the year where I've given RPGs a bit more of a chance, and there's some good ones. But it is sort of, from everything they're saying about it, from like sort of the leaks and things, because I can talk about the leaks and things, because I have not paid attention to anything apart from the leaks and stuff, is that it's a lot more casual, and that appeals to me. A lot of people are saying, oh, there's all these things that are missing, and there's all these really complicated systems. I'm like, great.
What didn't you like about New Vegas and the 3? I know you didn't like them, really.
It's just the engine, really. It's the engine that puts me off entirely.
Because that's the big thing. They've changed it a lot, haven't they?
Yeah. I've been hearing that it's a lot more... actually feels like a video game. It feels a lot more sort of with the... Because I love Dishonored. I think they did a great job with Dishonored. But I really don't like Skyrim's game engine and Fallout's one. Because the shooting felt awful. And the moving around felt awful. And that's what I'm going to be doing most
Bethesda
of the time.
engine, wasn't it?
Yeah. Because they've been using the same engine since Morrowind.
Well,
if I recall.
Kind of liked it on one hand just because how stupidly abusable it was. Like that really, really abusable stealth system. Like, I hope they keep a little bit of that in for Fallout 4 just for the nostalgia of it.
Yeah.
If I can't knock someone's head off with a super sledge in front of someone else while hidden and they just don't give a shit, I'm gonna be so angry.
Yeah, the casual thing I was talking about, and John, I will put this to you, what you think about it, because I'm pretty sure because I saw this on the front page of our gaming this morning, which is where everybody was talking about it, was that the talking trees, which used to be, here's everything you're going to say, are now a face button with a basic word that sums up your reaction.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this? Because everybody says that the dialogue wheel is murdering and it's going to kill everything, and because I've got voice acting now, so they don't need to type everything out. Do you think this is a massive step backwards, or do you think it's an okay thing?
It's, with the caveat, it's incredibly difficult to judge without actually having played it. I will say that, like, of the Bethesda games that we have played that have, like, you know, you wander around and you speak to people, the high level of complexity that exists within Fallout, I always found more enjoyable than the much less kind of level of the number of options and the less complexity in the trees that existed in Skyrim. Skyrim was not very interesting and had, you know, far fewer, speech checks were almost never showed up, and, you know, there wasn't really much point talking to anyone because it's much more linear. I mean, I guess it feels almost more like Mass Effect than Skyrim, which I don't have a problem with. It's not Fallout-y, but I don't necessarily think that's fundamentally a bad thing. Mass Effect told a fantastic story over 3 games.
2 games.
Anyway, even with the fact that it had effectively just a bunch of words.
2.5 games.
Look, right, okay. Remember L.A. Noire? I assume we've all played L.A. Noire fully. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love L.A. Noire.
Remember in that, for example, they didn't tell you what you were going to say, and sometimes you're like, oh, I'll just question them, and then you threaten to kill their entire family just sort of accidentally.
Yeah, but
but then you pressed B and it was fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, though, because that was only...
Press B and they forgave you.
Went on forever. Like, you had an option, it was like, live thingy or whatever, and then you press the button, and then they'd have like a whole minute of talking based on that one thing that you said. So that wasn't completely spiraled out of control.
I know, Johnny, you say you can press back, but that's only if you accuse them of lying, not if you just, like...
Yes, that's only if lying. Admittedly, yes, sometimes the doubt went horribly wrong. Sometimes I just wanted to doubt them.
Yeah, I will doubt
Sometimes I just wanted to doubt them because there was a single bit of slightly inconsistent evidence, and he just got up and started getting really fucking aggressive about how they committed mass murder.
Do you want your family to die? I will kill your family. No, I'm just slightly suspicious. That's my worry with the tree and Fallout, because I'm worried that I'm going to click something and think it's going to be, and then it'll say something completely wrong. And since it's an RPG and you need to know what you're saying personally, it's important.
I like to think that.
I'm really curious.
Random button and see who I become. That's my playthrough style.
Oh. I'm just really curious as to how they're going to fix this, because they've kind of said they said they don't want entirely pacifist runs to be possible. There's going to be points where they're going to want you to kill, though we'll try and find a way to glitch around those, obviously. But they've said that they did keep it in mind that they wanted pacifist characters to be able to do the vast majority of the game without killing. So if the conversation's been massively simplified and there's less talking your way out of it and speechy stuff, how are they going to do that? I'm really confused as to whether that means that, lockpicking and hacking are going to be way more important, and the levels are going to be more open, so you just avoid trouble rather than talking your way out of it, or stealth is going to be more important and you can stay hidden more easily. I've no clue. But, given it seems like speech is going to be less of a thing than it was in New Vegas, but they are saying they want, pacifist runs to be pretty much 99% doable, I've no idea how they're going to square that circle.
I get it, because it's push buttons.
I was there going, what's he talking about wrestling for? Anyway.
Good one.
I kind of... I see, the thing is that I always play... This is the thing I hate about the last Deus Ex, was that I always play a no-kill, no-see, you can't see me sort of run. And when I found out that Fallout could do that, I was really excited to do that in 4, and then they're like, hey, yeah, we're not adding that this time. I'm like, oh.
Well, I tried to do that the other week. John was there. I was trying to do a live stream where it was no kills, no healing.
Yeah, this was the live stream where you just completely ran out of ideas, so just started stealing mine.
Yes. Yes. Shut up, John. You have good ideas. You've done everything in Fallout. If literally I could do anything in Fallout, I'd be like, oh, John's already done it. Like the mod.
Hashtag Josh Simpson said
like, people recommended me a mod for this sort of like, no healing thing, and it had fucking John's logo on.
Yeah, there's some all the mods, all the runs I've done. There's a little mod which just puts a little MATN logo into Doc Mitchell's house, and you have to press it, turn them on.
John's logo's in John's logo's in my fucking Fallout New Vegas game. It's so annoying. I have to replace it.
You haven't even installed the MATN head mod yet, which replaces all the characters' heads with just the MATN logo.
I don't know if you're joking though. That's the thing. Like,
no, I am, but I want someone to do that now.
Like
Get the hell on it, Modus.
No.
Every character's head.
I think I've worked out just then, while you were chatting, why there are moments where you have to kill people and stuff. It's because this time they're doing an actual story with your character, as opposed to before it's sort of make your own story and there's stuff happening.
Well,
but
no,
I think
if
they're
you...
actually going to aim for a character arc.
Well, no, have you played Fallout 3 at all? Because Fallout 3 had that.
No.
Because Fallout 3, Fallout 3, you were going after your father, and it was all that. Well, New Vegas
but this one they've
given
you a voice and everything, so it looks like they're going to be giving you an actual "this is who you are" more tale, and maybe there are moments where you have to kill because that's actually an important plot point. So you won't be able to work around it if you want to complete the actual story. Maybe that's what they're going for. But who knows? Anything else you want to say before we wrap this one up? This slight clusterfucky, but not.
What time did you start?
About 6:15.
Yeah, about 15:15.
Oh, it only took you 15 minutes to get it ready then. Very nice.
Yeah, some of us are, good at this shit. We may not have actually been live streaming.
You forgot to change the title. It still said you were playing GTA 5 on the 12-hour stream,
yes, but,
which I changed.
Listen, I was going to change that in the interval, but what I did instead was I went outside and ate some curry. So, swings and roundabouts.
Good.
I haven't talked anything about 2K16 yet. But I've completely forgotten that, and I think Saturday's video is 2K16, so...
We have time.
It yet,
I got
maybe.
that. I got 2K16.
You got what? You got 2K16? Isn't it great?
What's the submission system? It's Pie Fight, but shit.
I really like it because it's Pie Fight.
Shit.
No, I've started to get really good with that submission system. It's really hard to make someone tap out, which is what it should be. And I absolutely love the pin system. It's the best pinning system they've ever had. So instead of having, instead of being like, you have as many goes as possible, you have 3 very distinct tries for each tap. Yeah. And you have to just push X. It's just push X on the right thing, which means it's very hard to pin someone. I've had fights where I've nailed down the AI, and I've this is the second finisher and the second signature, and they're bad and I'm bad, and I go for the pin and they tap out and I genuinely go what at the screen. I'm like, yeah, they've nailed the feel of.
I noticed they have an animation if you get hit at the final thing where they stop and your character just puts his hands to his head.
Yeah, they've got loads of them as well. Oh, it's so good. I will do a whole discusses video on the rating system of that game because the rating system of that game is absolute genius, and it really it's such a good game. It's so much better than it had any right to be.
I know the lack of divas though. All the good divas are just gone.
That is the only that, and still no taunting from the top rope. What? Why?
Although no, it's fine though because I can be Xavier Woods and go New Day, and the crowd comes back. That's all I need.
I'm gonna add that as my taunt. I want that as a taunt now.
Yeah,
it has to be a thing.
And then I can be Paige, just go ah! This is my house. That's my impression of Paige.
She turned heel for the 4th time on Raw on Monday. Anyway, John's bored. We should probably wrap this up. Yeah, no idea.
I have no idea what's going on. I don't play wrestling games.
We'll have to fix that. Yeah. Me and John are going to go and wrestle.
I was going to ask you for a recommendation after the end of this. If I know nothing about wrestling, I've never played a wrestling game before, what would be a good one to try?
The most recent one, 2K16. Yeah. Because it's
2K16.
Such a huge... Yeah, the one that's just come out. But it is such a huge creative suite. Like, you create your own character from... and there's so many more options this time. They actually put effort into that. but you can also create your own shows and belts, and when you get to see like every single move your character can do, which is like 200, I think, or 100. It's a huge amount of moves mapped to the one controller in different contexts and stuff. You can change every single one to be exactly how you want it, and it's basically an RPG. The main thing now.
Oh yeah,
it's
I did try it. Yeah.
Game. It's an absolute stunning game. I mean, it's different to the old PS2 ones that a lot of people remember, like Here Comes the Pain and Shut Your Mouth and things like that, which were a lot more arcadey. This is a lot more on the simulator side of things, and I think it is the best the series has ever been. I actually do think the 2K16 is the best wrestling game ever, apart from, of course, Simpsons Wrestling, that's awful. Fucking ignore that shit. That game was awful. Oh god, that was awful. I really want to get a copy of that so I can remember how awful it was.
Is that
was
a
PS1
real
though,
thing?
wasn't it? Yeah! Simpsons Wrestling was huge back in the day. Well, not huge, but all my friends had it.
I don't know whether to believe you.
Simpsons Wrestling. Hang on a second, let me find the thing. Yeah, there we go. With a logo that I remembered. 2001, about the same time as the first series of Big Brother. Oh my god.
It has 1 out of 10 on IGN. That says something.
Yeah, like I said,
Wow.
It was the best game ever.
Oh.
IGN slaughtered that game for some reason. I have literally no idea. Actually, Jesus, look at the reviews. It got a 1 out of 10 from IGN, a 2 out of 10 from Game Informer, and a 6.4 from GameSpot.
I'm looking at the screenshots. Jesus.
Like I said, it was the best wrestling game.
Why is Bart fighting Bumblebee Man? Why is Homer fighting Lisa? Isn't that child abuse?
Because it was.
Oh, you can play as Itchy and Scratchy, though. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, they were really ridiculous. They gave it a review and called it unbearable, IGN. That's amazing. So good. It's right.
A good
Its
choice
presentation is 1. The game looks horrible, presents horrible. I thought it actually looked pretty okay, but maybe I'm just getting it wrong. Graphics. The game looks even worse than it plays, which is pretty freaking bad. Sound. Porn music and other forgettable music. The only interesting aspect of the game are the voices. Gameplay. 1. It's an exciting button mashing redundancy with no real or fake wrestling can be found anywhere. Lasting appeal 0.5. There's no initial appeal. How can there be a lasting appeal?
There's a bit, one of these screenshots. It's Marge and Barney like fighting in a ring, but in the middle of the ring there's a big picture of Flanders holding a sausage.
Like I said, that's the best wrestling game of all time.
Oh, I'm gonna put it in there.
Just Flanders holding a sausage.
Yeah.
Well, he's got it on a little
Suggestively?
Little fork,
Yeah, he
but,
has it.
no.
Yeah, because he's like the grill guy, isn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know why it's on the ring though. Why is it on the ring?
I wonder if that was.
Stupid, sexy Flanders.
And on that bombshell, we will end this video sponsored by IKEA. Here, I don't know why I said IKEA. I was going to say sponsored by and then work something out. I'd love to be sponsored by IKEA. Oh my god, I'd have so many of those shelves. The thingy ones, the 4x4 and the 5x5 ones.
So the wood
somebody,
ones.
I can't remember who. The what ones?
The wooden ones.
I can't remember.
Like,
yeah, the woodeny ones. They're great.
Yeah,
I have
literally
I have them
every
behind my
single
desk and all
item.
my consoles on them. They're amazing. Somebody said that in Life is Strange, it's set in a parallel universe where they have a 2x3 version, and that's what's driven everybody mad. I think it was a Eurogamer article. Did a whole
Yeah, I
thing
saw that today.
So they have this 2x3, and that's clearly why everything has gone weird, because they have a 2x3 version of it. And what the
You
fuck
realise
is the point of
IKEA
that?
shelves are fully modular, and you can make them 2x3 if you so wish.
Matt,
Yes.
stop ruining my world.
Okay. No.
Actually, I can't because I got the big side barrier, so this one actually wouldn't work because I got the big 5x5. I have so many of them, oh my god. Anyway, that was the first episode of Nerd³ Podcats. Thanks to our special guest, half the episode, Matt!
Yeah.
That's the point where, Matt, you go, hooray, I'm here!
I forgot I was meant to stream it and everything.
Yes, you were. Well done. And also, John, my host in command.
What?
Yay!
Yes! Hosting come out, I like
I
that.
don't know, I'm
Putting that on my Twitter profile.
I'm trying to work out how to fuck to get to the end screen on this thing because I haven't put it on, so I'm trying to play for time. Just shit. Hang on.
Remember, Twitch chat, be sure to rank this episode out of 10 in the Twitch chat. Tell us out of 10 how good it
Quick
was.
note, these will be available on SoundCloud and iTunes podcasts if I can set them up.
Yes. They will be. Sunday.
Yeah, is that when the Sundays? Yeah, they'll come out on Sundays probably. They might come out earlier as podcasts. I don't know because iTunes is weird.
Yeah, you'll find out.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching and stuff. Bye.
Bye!
Fuckface.